It is 11 o'clock. It literally flicked 11:01 right as I went live. I made it in time. No haters in chat. Hello, everybody. How are we doing today? I'm gonna probably just chill out here in the menu for a little bit until we get some people. Well, I don't want to go through like the basics and then have people tune in, so I'll let them all trickle in. While we're doing that, we'll look at this cute artwork. Look at her. Where is it? No, wrong area. Oh, yeah, we're close for the bond. It's learning time. Hello, Yoshi. Look at her outfit. Look at her Bond outfit. Look how cute she is. And she has her sleepy time outfit. And then she has the festive outfit. And then it's Yo-Star, so then you get the Halloween outfit. And then the racing outfit. And then look, a cute little winter outfit. Yeah. This is Green Woman. Okay, we're gonna be really quick. I'll show it to you. We're gonna be really quick. Okay, you ready? Keep your eyes peeled. That's her Bond outfit. All right, 3, 2, 1. All right, good. That's the new character. And then look how cute Ichihime is. Look at her Bond outfit. And the beach party. New Year's. Shinobi. I think another New Year's. And then Schoolgirl Ichihime. She's like the mascot character for the game. This is the other free character you get when you start. She's got good outfits, if you're into it. And like technically, we can go items, outfits, and you can look at any characters. So I can be like, let's look at this guy. I can just like look at his outfit. I knew the man wouldn't have any bad outfits, so I knew I was safe. Fuji is, she's cute. 2026 for free? Then her Bond outfit. Her spring outfit. I don't know what this one is. Another outfit. Beach outfit. Fuji spring. Thank you for reminding me. I need to go into my illustrations and turn this one off. I'm just a little nervous having that one pop up on stream. Yeah, but yeah, so you can like look. You can be like, wow, oh, look, this bunny girl's really cute. You know what I mean? You can be like, wow, she's cute. Let me look at her other outfits. Oh, that's her Bond outfit. That's nice. Oh, that's her summer outfit. That's nice. Oh, that's okay. Maybe, you know, maybe bad choice of character to show on stream. Thank you, Yo-Star. God bless. And we have Wanjiro, who's a dog. He's hilarious because he uses his paw to grab all the tiles, so like you physically see his paw. I always see Wanjiro players using this skin. Oop, I went too far. I hit the wrong back. I keep doing that. But yeah, so here we can see, where is it? So this is their first collab. This is the Saki characters. I don't know if you're familiar with Saki. I wasn't. But I believe it's a Mahjong anime. They did, what is this? Kakaguri? Those characters. Which is like a gambling anime, so it makes sense. I think she's really popular and famous from it. Yeah. So they did a collab with this one, which I see people use this all the time. I'm pretty sure she's like the really popular character. And surprisingly, they do sometimes get skins on the collab releases. Then they did... Oh, and then they did Kaguya-sama. Love is War. Did I scroll past Akagi? Oh, yeah, sorry. Before Kaguya-sama, they did Akagi, my guy. My goat. The legend himself. The genius who descended into darkness. Akagi. I mean, look at the aura. I mean, it's just pure aura. In real life, smoking? Absolutely not. But in illustrations and like movies and stuff, it has so much aura to it. You know what I mean? And then they have him in like his super outfit. Well, so funny enough, just this year they reran the Saki collab. So there is like a chance that they end up rerunning the Akagi collab because there's a sequel to Akagi as well that's pretty popular. And they could do that. And this is Washizu. He's just a eccentric, really rich old man who gambles with blood. And this is a limited character that'll never be rerun. Every year they run one character that's like limited to the year. And it's like, dang, the designs are awesome. Yostar illustrators are just so talented. Oh yeah, they did Code Geass, funny enough. And like they keep the art style intact. Like here's Cece. And they did like a little thing where they just ran a few furry characters. And funny enough, everybody run. This was the super limited one, so she never comes back, I believe. No, wait, I think she is allowed. No, it's the other one. And she's just a chubby furry. People go feral for her. And they keep her chubby in all of her skins. Like just a little bit of chub, not a lot. This is the I think this was the first fake collab with Ilya. They did Ilya, Miyu, and I forget her name, Kuro. Why would you name the dark skin character Kuro? You know what I mean? Like that's a little something. Like, God bless Japan. But yeah, so that was that collab. And then you can see Blue Archive here. They have Shiroko, Hoshino, I forget her name, Aru, and I forget this little brat's name, Mutsuki, that's what it is. And then I think it's just original characters for a while. This character I really want to pull. She's Chinese. She's Chinese and she speaks like when you Ron and Pawn and all that, she uses the Chinese words for it. So funny enough, I like the default outfit. I don't particularly like her Bond outfit. But I really like this outfit too. The Yin Yang martial artist. And then they redid. Yeah, it is. And then they recently redid Fate as well. Oh, wait, where was the second Saki? Was this it? Are these Saki? I think this was Saki season 2. These three. And so they did this and they reran the Saki characters. And then good morning, Leaf. Good day. And so when they redid the Fate characters, they put the old Fate characters from the old collab up as well. So this one they did Sakura, Rin, Saber, and Archer. This guy If I pulled for male characters, this guy is fucking awesome. You know what I mean? Show off Snake Lady. Leave. Leave. I can't. Okay. So this is Snake Lady. This is her default clothing. This is her Bond clothing. Which isn't it, like it's rough. And this is her outfit, if you can call it that. Okay, that's enough of that. When she gets a win, the ribbons snap, by the way. On the winning screen, if she won, the ribbons snap. That's what you deserve, Leaf. You asked for it. That's what you deserve. This is the character that has the new, as you call it, Yuri skin. She's another one of the Chinese characters. And the skin itself is just like that, but they did like a Yuri artwork with the two skins because the other one's for her. It's funny because you can see the subtle differences because this was intended to look like Chinese artwork, and the way that they color things and the way they use saturation compared to the normal artwork of, like, we'll just grab another character. Not collab. Like Jane. There's a way that they do saturation and stuff in Chinese art. Kind of cool. I was recently learning about it. All right, so enough of women. Hopefully that's enough to get he or she interested. Depending on what kind of woman he likes, there's a lot. Oh, Idolmaster? Yeah, there was an Idolmaster collab. I think twice as well. My bad. There's so many collabs and they don't just like separate it in this menu that it's hard for me to tell sometimes. I just know everything before Saki is original. And then afterwards, it's like half and half, basically. This character in the thumbnail always reminds me of the vacuum girl from Hunter x Hunter. But, like, she doesn't look like it at all when you actually, like, look at her. But just this little snippet almost reminds me of the vacuum girl from Hunter x Hunter. None of the other ones. Not at all. Not even remotely. She doesn't even look like her. Jesus. But just that little snippet, it looks like her. A little bit. She would be mean to you. So if you're into that, there you go. Mirai would be mean to you. She literally has the curls, too. You just know that she says Desuwa. That is devious. Anyway. The game. That's what we're here for, right? Alright, Yoshi. Forget about the women. Forget about the game. Alright, here we're learning Mahjong. That's what we're here for. No more we whisk away all of our dreams and ideas of women. We're here for the tiles. So you can, I'm going to use this to go through because I actually think that this is a really good, like, base understanding of Mahjong is the actual, like, tutorial from Mahjong Soul. I genuinely think it's actually, like, a really good tool to teach people. So we're going to use this. So right here, we have our three suits, the man or mon, the pin, and the so. You can call it characters, circles, bamboo. I've seen some people call them wheels for the circles, like letters or whatever for characters, sticks for bamboo. It doesn't matter. The terminology is not important as long as you know the three. You can learn terminology later. It's easy. And then our honor tiles are going to be our wind tiles and our dragon tiles. Those are pretty easy. I mean, you can call them direction tiles, but most people just call them wind. It's easy. Yeah, so 3 different suits, and they go 1 through 9. And then you have your dragons, which are white, green, red. And then your winds, which are east, south, west, and north. There's some important distinctions to talk about, but we'll get there later. Just want a good understanding of what we have here. So if we feel we kind of understand, if we have any other questions, we can move on. Sorry, I meant to say if we don't have any other questions, we can move on. So here, yeah, pretty straightforward. So here, you have a hand. You will always have a hand of 13 tiles. And see at the bottom, what you're looking for is 4 sequences or triplets, and 1 pair, as well as a Yaku. We'll get into the Yaku later. The important part to see is you need 4 sequences or triplets. A sequence being consecutive tiles, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, anything like that, right? 7, 8, 9. Or a triplet where they're identical in the same suit. You can't have like a 5 pin, a 5 man, and a 5 so. And like that does not make a triplet. Triplet has to be the same suit. Yeah, for any sequence or triplet. So this is the basics of Mahjong. If you can do this, you can play Mahjong. Where it gets complicated is when we get into Yaku. So we'll get scoring is where Mahjong gets hard. So we'll get there. So a winning hand must contain a Yaku. There are 42 Yakus to know. But this one, very smart. They go over all simples, aka Tanyao, Riichi, and Yakuhai. So we'll get there in a moment. So you see, let's talk about all simples, Tanyao. That's by far the easiest one to work for. So in this game, there is a distinction between a terminal tile and an honor tile. Your terminal tiles are the beginning and the end of the suit. Your 1s and your 9s. So those are your terminals. And your wind tiles and dragon tiles are called your honor tiles. You can kind of think of them as like face cards if you were to make it a deck. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If you were to compare it to a deck of cards, it would be like you would need to be able to make something not including an ace, a 10, or any of your face cards. That would be like the closest equivalent. So in this hand, you see it has 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then they have an 8, and then they end it with a pair 8. Thumbs up. Ichihime approves. That's an all simples Tanyao hand. You're not getting anything else with that hand. So another Yaku, this one's separate, is if you keep your hand closed and you're 1 tile away from winning. That's called, well, okay, so first of all, when you're only 1 hand away from winning, it's called tenpai. So when you're in, yeah, I would, the closest equivalent I would give is face cards. They work really differently, and we'll get into that in a moment, but yeah, I think as a way to like visualize that they're considered like separate from the other cards is like kind of think of them that way. They're really considered super separate. Like you can't run like any sequences with them at all. Like even if you have the winds like east, south, west, like they don't run a sequence. They only work in triplets. But so it's a little harder, but I just kind of use it as a basic distinction. But yeah, so tenpai is when you're one tile away, and so Riichi, if your hand is closed and you call and you're one tile away, you don't need a Yaku. Riichi is a Yaku. So if you keep your hand closed, you can always call Riichi. If you're in Tenpai. Yeah, so Chi, so the person to your left will always be the player that plays before you. If they play something that can complete your sequence, so say you have a 2-3 in your hand and they play a 4, you can call it Chi, and you can complete your sequence open. So you reveal it, you complete it, you turn the tile, the tile you grabbed, you turn it sideways to show that you cheated from the person open. And then you discard something else from your hand. You don't draw. So like you're skipping your draw to complete something that you are trying to complete. You can do all simples with an open hand. But yeah, so that's cheat. Pawn, if you have two, so say you have 2 of your 4 pins here. Do the calls happen once per full rotation or turn? So calls can happen when, so say a pawn, so a chi can only be called on the person to your left. You can't call, like if the person to your right discards something that completes your sequence, you cannot call chi on them. But you can call pawn on anybody, and that's completing a triplet. So if you have a pair of 4s in your hand, a 4 pin, as we see right here, if you have a pair of those and somebody drops a 3rd one, you can call pawn, open your hand, and then you discard. And so you just like it moves the turn order to you, and so you can like someone can end up getting skipped. And trust, it gets a little annoying when you get skipped like 2-3 times in a row. Don't be wrong, but. And there's con, which is open con and closed con. I would say don't worry about con when you first start. It is regarded as a triplet, but it has additional rules to it, which is it opens something from the Dora wall. Generally speaking, I would not worry about it. If you have a closed con in hand, feel free. There's a lot of nuance to using cons, but it is important to note it is something you can do. You can win off of somebody else calling con. It's called robbing a con. I've done it once in my entire like Mahjong career. It's the most satisfying thing in the entire world. Not gonna lie. But regardless of that, yeah, and then there is also as far as priority goes. So if you're calling, so say somebody is dropping a 4-man, and you need that for your 2-3 shape. That's going to be a 2-3-4. And you call chi. If somebody else is waiting and decides to call pawn, pawn overrides chi. So if they've decided to call pawn and you decided to call chi, your chi just won't go through. So there is sort of priority in that regard, but yeah, I do know a little bit about MTG, so I'm not like an expert. I played just like a little bit. But yeah, so in this case, you see at the bottom here, you can declare Riichi if you have a fully closed hand. So you didn't chi, you didn't pawn, and you didn't do an open con. You can do a close. In the notice it says open con. You can do a closed con, and it counts as being a like concealed in your hand still, even though it technically is put on the board. And you conceal it by putting the 2 tiles on the end face down. It matters more for if you're in person. The game does it automatically. But yeah, so you have Menzinchin, which means closed hand, and then you Riichi. One thing that you have to worry about is Furitan. This is the rule that I think catches the most people. It's really hard to like comprehend at first. So in this, we'll look at the example here. Is the reason they're in Furitan, because you see they're looking to complete their 2-3 shape. They either need another 4 or another 1. And the reason that they're in Furitan, so regardless of the fact that it's no Yaku on the 1, because it's otherwise be an all simples hand, the reason they're in Furitan, which means they can't call it off of another player's discard, you can still win off of drawing. Yeah, this is a state you can fall into. So you can still win off of drawing into the winning tile, but you can't win off of somebody discarding it. And because they discarded the 1 bamboo earlier, the one so, it means that if that is in their winning tiles at all, they are in the Furryton state. If any of your discards are one of your potential winning options, even if it's not the tile that you're looking to win off of, if it's one of your winning options, you're in Furryton and you cannot declare a win from somebody else's discard. But again, you can still win from drawing into it. And so there's three ways to be in Furryton technically. The discard Furryton is the one we're talking about. That's the one that you will most commonly see. That's the one to worry about. So you should always be watching your discards and watching what you're building. Oh, you can really screw. If Debunked was here, he could tell you stories. He is the Furryton king. He for a while, he was only playing triplets because he would always put himself into Furryton. Let me see. All right, so yeah, and it's no Yaku. Yeah, having no Yaku when your hand is open, because Riichi is a Yaku if you have a closed hand. Yeah, so it's knowing your Yakus and knowing Furryton. That's true. You are the no Yaku king. You and Leaf. There's so many times where Leaf will call something and I'm just like, he has a no Yaku. I'm not even worried. I'm like, I've seen this guy play. And so here you'll see temporary Furryton. This one's really, really, really niche. Temporary Furryton is if you decide to pass on winning. There are such an insanely few situations where you would ever do that. They are like the niche of the niche. You would only do it if securing your position mattered on somebody's specific score going down, and you would otherwise be absolutely stuck in the position you're in. So it's like if you're fourth and you can't get anything better than a Mongon hand, and a Mongon on first place would still leave you in fourth place, but a Mongon on third place or second place would bump you into third or second, then you would... There are some worlds where you would pass on Ronning onto first place because it wouldn't get you, and you would have to not be dealer for this to even potentially work. You would have to not be dealer, because if you're in fourth, you're already like you're done. But yeah, so you would pass on that. It's so niche. I would never worry about this. By the time you would be even thinking about doing a play like this, you would genuinely be in like the master or saint level in this game. At beginning, it is such a non-rule, but to teach Furryton, it is something. And then Riichi Furryton is just like being in Furryton, but you Riichi'd into it. You cannot remove it under any circumstance. But yeah, and it would be like a situation too where it's like in this instance they're showing it's even really dumb because yeah, you can never remove Riichi Furryton because when you Riichi, you cannot change your hand. That's the one thing of Riichiing. Because like a regular discard Furryton, you can move your hand around where you don't end up winning on one of those tiles. Right? So like you discard your 2 here, and then say you discard your 3 because you drew another south, and now you're in a double pairway to the 4/4 south-south. I mean, yeah, it ruins your Yaku, so we're not going to even talk about that, but it's just for the example. Then you would no longer be in Furryton. Well, actually you would because you discarded the south. I take that back. I wasn't actually looking. But point is, you can like discard your way into a different Tenpai and not be in Furryton. And temporary Furryton passes the next time you discard, but a Riichi Furryton is forever. It's the same as being in a discard Furiton, but you go into Riichi when you do it. You can still win off of drawing. So, like, there are some times where people, like, at the high end, will be willing to take a Riichi Furiton if they're on, like, a 3 or 4 sided weight, and there's a lot of those tiles left, because, like, the odds of drawing it are high enough, and going in Riichi should put people on defensive generally. So there are times where you can get away with it, but it is a rule. All right, Yakuhai is going to be the last like easy win condition, the easy Yaku we'll talk about. So Yakuhai is literally just your triplets for your honor tiles. There's prevalent wind, whereas so if you're playing east only, which is what I generally play, that is east wind. If you play 2 wind, then it's east wind and followed by south wind, right? Whatever your like round is, it's your round tile. And then whatever seat you're in is your sea wind. Those 2 winds can always be used as a Yaku, and you can open on these. And then the dragon tiles, which they call blank here. Everyone else in the world calls them white. I've never seen blank dragon listed, but here we are. Yeah, and then you have green and red. Very, very simple, very straightforward. You can be open on those. Super, super easy. And that's the end of the basic tutorial, right? That covers the most basic of the Yaku. So we've covered Riichi here. We've covered all simples here. Fully concealed hand is just drawing into sumo. We don't worry about that one. That's kind of just a free extra Han. Seat wind we went over. Don't worry about that. See, that's the employee at Yostar logging in to handpick my tiles to screw me over when I play. Don't mind that. It happens once in a while. I did not cover Cheat Toy. I'll get into it in a second. That's actually why I came here debunked. So we have seat wind. We covered this one. We have prevalent wind. We covered this one. We have our dragons. We cover those ones. Pinfu is a little more... I do think Pinfu is worth knowing. They don't cover it in the basic, but I think it's really, really worth knowing. So, the normal win, it said, you know, either triplets, sequences, and then ending on a pair. If you do all sequences in your closed hand and you're ending on a... and you have a pair, so all sequences plus a pair, you don't have to be waiting on the pair, but as long as you have the pair and everything else is a sequence, it's called Pinfu. I think that one's worth knowing. Pure double sequence is really hard, but that's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's closed hand only, which I've screwed myself over on before, where I've had a pure double sequence and accidentally opened my hand because I wasn't paying attention. These ones we don't worry about, but they are always winning, which is like the last tile discarded. Yeah, there can absolutely be a break. And then there's Ipatsu. There's a couple extra things. We're not going to worry about those. Tuhan. So one thing, if you have 3 triplets, and notice it can be open. If you have 3 triplets, then you can, of the same number. 3 triplets of the same number. So if you have the 3 through 3, 3 through 3, 3 through 3, that one counts. And it works the same with quads. All triplets is another win that I do think should be covered. So if you have all triplets and end with a pair, then that's a winning. Concealed, we won't worry about that one. Little dragons, you're already winning with the dragons. We're not going to worry about that one. This is judges at an airport, all terminals and honors. This is what I wanted to get to, though. So this one is really... It's very different from every other hand. And this is why it said generally. It's this hand, and then there's the 13 orphans. It's called 7 pairs. Generally, I would recommend not trying to build towards 7 pairs, but sometimes it just happens where you're sitting there with like 4 or 5 pairs in your hand, and then you just go for it. Because at 5 pairs, you're 1 draw away from going into Riichi Chitoi. Or Damaten, but... yeah, that's your 7 pairs. And it's just what it says. It's 7 pairs, Chitoi. Pure straight is probably something you were thinking of. Yes, that is also. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 being 3 sequences. you can be open with this one. So if you have like all of it but one, you can open this one. So these are Yaku. So you have to have a Yaku to be able to win. You literally cannot win without a Yaku. You can have a hand that is like quote unquote complete, where it has like the sequences and triplets and stuff. But if you don't have a Yaku, you cannot win. So you'll not be able to call victory. Mixed triple sequences, those are fun. This, I don't think I've ever done a twice pure double sequence. I don't think I've ever gotten that in my entire life. Is fully outside. Half flush is another one. Half flush and full flush. So flush, if you know cards, you know flush. Half flush is literally, it's the same as flushing, but you can have honor tiles in it. Those are other really good win conditions. One more to cover, just to have it covered. So these are Yakumons. If you ever get these, it's insane. Like, Blessing of Heaven's literally having your first draw is a winning tile. You win by, like, it's absolutely insane. And then Blessing of Earth is just if you're not the dealer. It's literally just like drawing a complete hand. Unreal. Literally, that's why it's called Blessing of Heaven. You have to have the Blessing of Heaven to get that. If you have a Yakumon or if you have the Hans, it'll tell you no Yaku if what you're doing puts you into a Tenpai without a Yaku. But the one I wanted to cover here is 13 Orphans. So the other instance where you can win that doesn't follow the normal rules of having all triplets or sequences in a pair is 13 Orphans, where you have one of each of the terminal tiles and one of each of the honor tiles. And then you need just one additional, so you still need a pair on one of them. So in this instance, they have the pair drawn. It's actually a double Yakumon if you have one of each and you're waiting for the pair to be thrown. Then there's like 9 gates, true 9 gates. There's a couple other like additional things, but where's regular 9 gates? Yeah, here's regular 9 gates. But yeah, so we'll go through. I usually do in these, and these are the draw conditions. If everybody discards the same win tile on the first turn, it forces a draw. The 4-con abortion is if 4 people call a con. It clears the reason it does this. It's really hard to tell in Mahjong Soul, but in the physical version of the game, there's the dead wall that you're drawing off of when you do a con only has like 4 tiles in it. And so because the dead wall's empty, another con like could be called and it would like break the rules of the game or whatever. So that's why it literally just ends the game. If 4 cons get called and you don't win off of that last tile that's drawn from the dead wall, it just ends. It just does a draw and you just repeat. And then if you ever have 9 terminals and honors in your starting hand and you're just like, I don't feel like going for 13 Orphans, then you just do this. In 4-player, if everybody calls Riichi, it also does a draw. So like if somebody does Riichi, another person follows Riichi, the other person follows Riichi, and it's like your turn and you're like, oh, I can call Riichi. You can just force a draw and then you repeat. It's really funny. Because otherwise, there's so much pressure being the guy that's not in Riichi. But yeah, that covers a lot. I know, like, going through the Yaku, it's a lot. Don't worry about these. The ones that they covered are the ones to worry about. Your Riichi, your All Simple, and then your Yakuhai with the Dragons or Seat Wind or Prevalent Wind. Pinfu's a little more niche. Yeah, all these are really niche. Don't worry about those. And then, like I said, all seven pairs is good to remember, and then all triplets is good to remember. But yeah, learning all of those is huge because you just have to like eventually know how to build your hand better. But in the beginning, and I wouldn't even worry about defense. When you are first learning this game, defensive play does not matter at all, Hiyoshi. Not even remotely. So last time I did this stream, I did a little AI game. And I'm going to do that again. I was going to create a AI game with 5-minute timer so I can kind of talk over stuff and show you in action. I'm just going to go for those. I don't know why I immediately went to invite. That's so funny. Hey, don't copy my character. Get out of here. Much better. No, I don't want to repeat. No, give me Ichihime. Beef. There's Ichihime. So we're going to go into a game here, Kyoshi. And we're going to look at my hand. I get 5 minutes per hand to kind of talk about it, so. There is a 3-player mode. So, no. Okay, so Kyoshi, from what you've learned, what do you think I should be discarding here? So you'll see these are the 13 tiles that are in my hand, and then this little space indicates the tile I just drew. I love the sheep. Meh. I love my little emotes. Look at this little face. Look at Lisa. And yeah, AIs will emote you back. Just remember the Yaku, right? We got Riichi, we got all simples, we've got 7 pairs, and we've got Yakuhai, which is our a triplet of any of the 3 dragons, or the Seat Wind or Prevalent Wind. Which for us, we're dealers, so Seat Wind and Prevalent Wind are the same at East. Take your time. One of the best settings in this game is that you can add the numbers to the tiles. So. Immediate gut feeling is too many man tiles. We have sequences and a triplet there. So, immediate gut feeling should be this north wind that we drew. I know like my little crow model covers it a little bit, but let me move myself up. Wait. There we go. There's me. There we go. Yeah, so this north wind right here, it's not our seat wind. It's not the prevalent wind. We don't have any other ones of it. It's just kind of on its own here. So that's the one we're going to cut. So in this instance, there's a few things that I would normally cut. Prevalent wind is not highlighted. It's just where it says east right here in the middle. That's how you know the prevalent wind. And then your seat wind is whichever letter is near you, like your part of the table. So here, there's a few things that I could discard, but we're gonna... This is looking like a pretty good Tanyao hand, which is all simples. We're gonna leave the potential to draw into a second east wind here. And so we're going to discard the 1-man. Because if we get rid of the 1-man, we have only simple tiles remaining, plus a potential for east wind, which is a Yaku. So keeping the Yaku in mind, we're going to say 1 here. I'm sure if I check Maka, Maka's going to say east wind is the better discard because we don't have it, which is also fine. Either one of these would be a good decision. So here, this is perfect. So we drew a 2. At this point, we're going to have a pair of 2s. We'll be looking really close to like a tenpai. We're getting rid of our east wind here. Now, you could still hold it, but it would be, I think, greedy. Generally, if I don't have a pair, I won't hold an honor tile too long. The closer and closer you get to tenpai, the less likely you should be to hold it. So now if somebody drops a 2-man, we can call a tenpai, we can call a pawn on it, and that'll almost immediately get us into tenpai. This is very interesting. Did not expect this. So I can get rid of the 6 here. So normally, if I was playing this hand, I would not pawn this. Yes, so discards are in play. So you see how we just discarded that 2 across from us, and we can pawn. This is what we were talking about with our pawns and our cheese. It's based on what the person discards. Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to pawn this. If I were playing, I'm very greedy. I would actually not pawn this. Because I would look to discard this 3 and then try to complete one of these shapes and wait on the 3 pin. And this is a mixed double sequence. But we're keeping it simple here. Don't worry about all that. We pawn it. We can build all simples. Here, this is almost complete. This is almost complete. This is going to be harder to complete. So we're going to get rid of that. We're not really going to do anything here with a 7, so we're just going to get rid of that. So here we draw the 2, which completes 2, 3, 4. You'll see if I hover this, it tells me that it puts me into 10 pi and that I would be waiting on a 4 and a 6 to win. So we're going to ignore. We're not going to get into Dora tiles and scoring and points. So when they're discarded, they're only in play at the moment they're discarded. So there's only 4 copies of each card, or of each tile, sorry. So being that I can't build this into a triplet, it would have to be a sequence. I don't have anything near it. This is a Dora tile. I would probably hold on to this, but I'm just trying to show you basic play. So we have a 2, 3, 4 completed. We have our triplet of 3s. We're literally waiting on these 2. And you see we're in 10 pi on the 4 man and the 6 pin. And so we can just keep discarding what we draw. And we don't stress it. The only thing we would look at is, yeah, so if we draw like a 5 here. We're not going to worry about it, but there is a red 5. If we can keep our winning hand and have a red 5, there's no reason not to. I'm not even going to worry about them calling Riichi. I'm going to play pure aggressive to show you what I think the best idea would be for you when you play. Which is, don't even worry about defense. Focus on getting your 10 pi and just try to win. Defense can come later. Defense it needs its whole other stream and like Maka analysis to explain it. This is gonna be very weird. So I'm actually just gonna call this closed con, and then I'll figure out what I'm doing with my hand later. I just love cons. Closed cons are so nice. Yeah, so you should look to build a Yaku. I don't really have a good discard. I don't want to get rid of a pair that I have, because that could be my ending pair. I don't want to get rid of an 8, because I could go for... No, we're going to stick to standard Yaku, so we'll get rid of that. We're just going to look to complete. So these south winds, I'm just going to get rid of. I'm just going to play, like I said, like how I recommended. We're going to get rid of the south winds. We can still potentially complete these. Okay, so east wind, 2 of them are down. So on an honor tile, if 2 of them are down, you can't complete the triplet. We just get rid of it. And we don't worry about it. In here, it's been a while. We haven't completed that. We're going to get rid of the 1 first, just because I'm a little greedy. We're going to get rid of that. So now our hand is in a closer to complete spot. So this is a little more advanced, but one of my favorite things to have is, like, in this instance, we're going to have a 4, 5, 5. I'm going to get rid of this 2 here. The reason for that is I can still take a 3, I can take a 6, or I can take a 5 to complete the shape, right? Because it can either turn it into a triplet, Yeah. So we skip it, yeah. The reason I didn't take the 7 is I need to get rid of this 9, actually. Because I'm trying to keep it all simples. So we have a 4, 5, 6 complete here. We don't want that right now. We don't want that. So we have a 4, 5, 6. We have a 4, 5, 5, which is very close. Perfect. So we're going to get rid of this. All we need is something... Yeah, no terminals and no honors. About to be the worst thing you've ever seen. Normally, if you call a con, you don't want to open your hand. But that's, like I said, that's a little more advanced. I'm just trying to keep this basic to show how approachable. So I see I can take this and still keep all honors. So I'm going to ignore the fact that this is a Dora tile. And you're going to see there's 2 left of the 4 pins. And there's 3 left of the 3 bamboos. So technically, we're more likely to see a 3 bamboo. We're going to work off of that. Now, it being a Dora tile means if I wasn't playing against AI, the odds of that coming out were way lower. But we are playing against an AI, so this is a win. And we'll take that. And you'll see in the point calculation here, you're going to see 2 red 5s. You're going to see 2 Dora, all simples. Those are extra point modifiers, which are the Dora and the red 5s. But all simples was our Yaku that we used to win there. That was at Tanya. So no terminals and no honor tiles. Yeah, that's when you see it shiny, that means it's the Dora. But okay, so you see how, like, as I get rid of these honor tiles, because I didn't have any pairs with them, like, this hand is already almost complete. We're not going to do it. Get rid of that. So if the wind isn't your seat wind or the prevalent wind, yeah, generally they're just kind of the first to go. I'm trying to go with something that doesn't have a Yaku, but will be Riichi here, just to show you as a showcase, but it's not really coming together as I was hoping. It started to, and then it just fell apart. Like I said, we're just gonna ignore defense. We're not gonna worry about defense. It pains me to not worry about defense, I'm not gonna lie, but I think it's worse for what I'm trying to showcase if I do play defense. Let's get rid of that. Don't call Chiyama tiles. Okay, so this is actually good. So we're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna get rid of this. The reason being is I have a 2-2-3. I have a 5-7 and a 3-5. So I'm gonna get rid of the farthest end of this shape, which is the 7. I would normally never do this, but this gives us a 4-4-5, which means a 3, a 6, or another 4 wins that, like, finishes that shape, and that's what we're looking for. Like I said, this one we do have the 9 here. I could get rid of that and go for all simples. There's a lot of things I could be doing with this hand. Of which I'm doing none of, because I'm just trying to focus on, like, the 3. Yeah, I'm just trying to focus on the 3 basic. No. Oh, and then I got Ron. That's fine. I'm not playing defense. Also, they were on a crazy one-sided weight on it. They were in 7 pairs. That's wild, actually. It's hilarious. Okay, so now we go into our final hand. So again, we have a wind. It's not our prevalent wind. It's not our seat wind. We don't have a pair of it. It's doing nothing for us. We get rid of it. Let's see what we draw. Okay, so we can get rid of this 2, or this 1 bamboo very safely. We're going to look for probably an all simples, which means we'd be getting rid of all of these. Not really sure where we're going to end up. We're going to go for all simples, just because I think it's a really easy one to showcase. So anything we draw that's not a simple tile, I'm just going to discard no matter what. And then I'll get rid of my honor tiles as I draw them. And we can open because we're doing all simples. That's the nice thing. We're not going to think too complex. We're not going to think too complex. We already have that shape completed. We already have a 3, 4, 5. There's nothing we can do with that extra 5. If you hear the pain in my voice, it's very real. Don't worry. Don't worry, it happens. Alright. We drew another 6, so this is a really interesting position. Really nice. So, with this, we're in Tenpai up on a 5 or an 8, which they just discarded, so we're going to win. But I just wanted to use that to showcase. We're not actually going to... It's going to be a second place game, but... Yeah, so we can take that 8, and it gives us a 6, 7, 8 with a 8, 8. Catch you later, pair. How long have I been playing Mahjong? I've only been playing Riichi Mahjong for a couple of months now. I've known about it for a while, but I never got around to, like, playing it until recently. When did we start, guys? Like, late October? Yeah, I want to say late October. Peace, Lamac. All right. Yeah, somewhere like late October, early November, somewhere in there, we started playing. I've been wanting to play for a long time. I just didn't know like the best client to play on. That best client ends up being Mahjong Soul, funny enough. And then I like looked up some of the places that play like in person near me. And they do Monday gaming on Mahjong Soul. So it's like, it is literally like where people play this game. They do Monday Mahjong Soul games, and then they meet up on like Sundays and Thursdays. Which I wonder if they're meeting up today. I keep meaning to go, but I forget about it until like the day of, and then I'm like, oh, what time is the meeting? And it's like 11 a.m. and I'm like, oh, shoot. I'm pulling it up right now. I apologize. Back home, there were Mahjong tables at the Asian market near where I grew up. That's awesome. There was a mall I was at. There was a big used book, like big used book event that they do. And so I went and I was there just for that. And while I was there, someone came up there, like, hey, does anybody know how to play Mahjong? There's these 3 older ladies in the food court that are trying to play, but their 4th person had to go, and they'd really like to be able to continue playing. They played like actual, I think, standard Chinese style. I don't even think it was Hong Kong style, because I could probably like flub my way through Hong Kong style nowadays, but like real Chinese style has like the flower tiles and stuff, and it works totally differently. I'd never be able to play, but because Riichi Mahjong is the Japanese style of playing. But yeah, and I was like, oh, that'd been so cool. And it's funny because it happened literally right after I finished watching Akagi like a few years ago. And I was like, dang, that could have been my moment. This was like God shouting out to me. Okay. This is annoying me. I tried to pull it up on my phone, and it, like, the website they use just does not work properly on the phone. Let me pull up their calendar. Me violently checking OBS to make sure my docked info doesn't get out. Oh, they are meeting today. Dang. Which one are they meeting at? See, that's why I don't like it. It's so far away. I wish they had one closer to me. All of them meet like down in downtown Detroit. There's the one that's closest to me is like a 45-minute. Go. Yeah, it's very straightforward on the surface. And then once you think you know how you're playing, look, we'll go through. This will be perfect. So we'll have Maka analyze that game. It's probably going to be about a D-. Wow, B-. Wow. Maka apparently liked what I was going for in those games. So this is the Maka engine that we went over. Just see, Maka will agree with this first discard. Our next turn. And this is why I said I should probably get rid of the East Wind. But being our Seat Wind and Prevalent Wind, and us knowing only about Yakuhai, I figured we get rid of the terminal tile. Then we get rid of the East Wind. Then we get rid of the 6 here, which was objectively correct. I do see the reason that the 3 is an option here is it would give us 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs. We'd be getting really close to a 7-pair situation. Did it like us? See, and it didn't like us pawning. Like I said, I knew it wouldn't, and I would never do it. I knew it would hate that, but... And the reason it would never discard this is because technically 4, 5, 6 is a shape. Doing just 6, 6 limits our options. And the reason you get rid of the 2 here instead of one of the 6s is just because it's further from everything, and it's Zadora, and it's early. There's a lot of reasons, but we're not going to get into all that. And then we get rid of that as we complete a shape. Correct. 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 This one, yeah, you could have went either way. And then correct, correct, correct. And then they sumo, and we just got unlucky. And then we can... See, here, it almost would never con. Yeah, so, like I said, I would never have done that pawn because I know exactly what it was going for. It was either going for a mixed double sequence or looking at a potential Cheetoy by getting rid of the 3. Pawning there was literally never the correct call, but if I only know that all simples... Yakuhai and Riichi exist, like a genuine novice, then it makes sense to me. I don't know these other Yaku. I don't know what these other plays are. I do know what all simples is. I do know what Prevalent Wind, Seat Wind, and Dragon triplets are. And I do know what Riichi is, and I'm going for all simples here. Right? It makes sense from the perspective of a player like that. Which is why... What did it didn't even like rank it that badly. Oh yeah, it did. It gave me 3, but 3 is better than 0. It means in 3% of the time it can understand that. So here it hates the con. It would never do the con, and I agree. Doing a closed con like this at the start is just pointless. There's no reason to do it, but I just thought it'd be fun. And now that we've done it... Hi, Turvan X. Not too bad. I ran a tutorial for Mahjong. I played against AI, and I'm kind of just showing like what we did and what the Maka engine thinks about what we did. I was trying to pretend as if I was playing as a novice that only knew of 3 different Yaku. It was pretty fun. Pretty fun to like go back in that mindset. I actually do agree. Like, if I'm playing for all simples like I should have been, I should have got rid of this 9 much earlier than I did. I was kind of foolish to do that. And we get rid of it here. And we get rid of it here. And I think we end up winning this one. Rid of that, and then yeah, the Adora came out. But you can always run over Maka, and if you're ever looking, like if you end up playing and you do end up looking at like Maka and you're like, hey, Tosato, why does Maka hate this decision? You can just send me a screenshot. There's also a share button. You can share me the whole match and I can look at things. But generally one screenshot of the whole board state is enough to like determine why Maka would make a decision. Yeah. So again, North, always the right discard here. White, generally the right discard here. It does see a world where I want to maybe keep the white and get rid of the 2, because this is already a completed shape. It does see that world, it just prefers the world where we get rid of white. Now we always get rid of this 2. Get rid of that 2. Or that south, south. These are very easy decisions. Here, interesting. So Maka considers what you see here. This is what Maka considers. Maka does not take into consideration what's in their hands. It doesn't take into consideration what their weights are. It takes into consideration that somebody's in Riichi. It takes into consideration that somebody has a 1-2-3 bamboo open. It takes into consideration all of their discards and what we've discarded and what our potential Yakus are, all 42 of them. It's a very complicated engine. Honestly, I don't know how they built it. I feel like it just seems so crazy. Like, but same with like the chess engines. The chess engines are so good now. Like, the people that made these engines are not the best players at the games, but they create an engine that is. You know what I mean? It's very cool. So we get rid of this 1. That's fine. I get rid of the 7 here. Again, it says get rid of the 4. The reason... So this is a situation where you might be like, hey, Tosato, I don't get it. Why does it want me to get rid of this 4 every single turn? You know, like... It sees here where I got rid of the 6, and it doesn't even see that world, but I already have a 6, 7, 8. Why is it saying this? Maka is saying that you should be folding. You should be playing defensive, you should be folding. We're not going to worry about defensive play, we're going to worry about offensive play. Right? And that's why Maka says get rid of the 4 here. It'll say get rid of the 4 here, and get rid of the 4 here, and get rid of the 4 here. It'll continue saying this because it is always objectively the correct discard if I'm folding. You can push hands. There's nothing wrong with pushing a hand, but like I'm sitting here in first place. Maka knows that it is objectively incorrect for me to continue doing this. I'm making a fool of myself doing this.
No.
And you'll see though, even Maka, let me go back one. Even Maka says like, hey, it's not that crazy of a discard. You have better discards. But it's not that crazy. And then East 4. We played this one pretty straightforward. It's pretty easy. North Wind. It's not our prevalent wind, not our seat wind. We get rid of that. It's not our tile. We're going all simples. We get rid of that. I chose the 9. The reason it chooses the 1 way more is just because 7 and 9 can link up. We get rid of that. It's not a big difference. How did it like that? It's going to hate this. It's going to be like, what are you doing, you absolute buffoon? Actually, not that bad. Not that bad. It didn't totally hate that. God bless. Get rid of the other one, get rid of the other one. Get rid of the 9. It says drop the 7 here. Fair. I'm just trying to stick to completed shapes. We get rid of the 7. We get rid of the 4. We're in 10 pi, and then we have a Ron. Which technically, does Maka yeah, so Maka will even tell you if Ronning or skipping is like something it would do, and like in no world are we skipping Ron here. But it's funny, it will tell you all that. Will it grade the AI for me? Oh, that's hilarious. It will. Easy AIs play at like a D plus range, and then I think normal AIs play about a C minus. Yeah, you'll have to play to kind of like cement the feeling for the game. There is just a lot going on that's hard to keep track of everything. I mean, like, and you saw like when we played yesterday, or maybe I don't remember if you did, but you know, I have a pretty good like book knowledge, quote unquote, of it, but when it comes to in practice, remembering all of that book knowledge in the 7-second timer that you have is really hard. So yeah, if you want in your first couple of games, you can go to we'll go back. I actually think it's a really good idea. Your first couple of games, do a friendly, do a create, and it'll be on these rules by default. Put it to East only. It's simpler. It's shorter. Don't worry about it. 5x20 is normal. And so it is only 5-second turns, but it usually gives you 7 just because of like lag and stuff. They add like an extra 1.5 seconds or something like that. Just for like delays and all that. You can do, I would do your first like 1 or 2 on 300 so you can really like make sure you know what you're doing. You can even do 60 if you want, because 300 is like insane. 60 is more, 1 minute is more than enough time. But 300 is fine because the AI will make their move instantly, and then you can just make your moves like as comfortable. And then yeah, you can do, and then like if you're like, okay, I'm comfortable, I can do this all in under a minute, you can do 1 minute. And then, you know, after a couple games of that, maybe you go to 5:20. And then once you're like, you know, even if you don't think you're always making the right call, if you're not like fully panicked, that's when I would say you go into games. And don't waste your time. Don't waste your time here, okay? This stuff is not helping you. Just go straight to ranked. I play it all the time. Yeah, and that's another thing too, right? The AIs are instantly making their turns, and some players do, but yeah, you can always just like think while other people are making their decisions. Like if you want, I can just rip it and do a. I'll be a little less talkative, but I could rip it and do how I would play and try. I'll try to like explain my thoughts as I'm playing. If we want to try that, I can do a rank game. But if we do, I'm about to pour me some tea. Ooh, these oolong leaves are beautiful. They're still not fully open. That's crazy. I stored my oolong leaves from my stream last night, overnight, just to see. And they're still partially rolled, like they're not fully developed out. Ooh. Yeah, this is a it's just like a nice little mid-grade, but it's a Da Hong Pao from Fujian. Pretty good. It's a little darker than I like my oolongs. I tend to like lighter oolongs, but funny enough, it is a rock oolong, which I was surprised when I saw that. I was like, wait, Da Hong Pao, the big red robe? But just the way this one was processed, not my favorite, but it's still really good. I'm pouring it right now. One moment. Pouring my whole little teapot worth of it. Oh yeah, those leaves are really open now. I wonder how much better it's going to taste. Ooh, that tastes a lot better now that the leaves are properly open. I'm not going to lie. You can really get that, like, almost mineral-y taste that the rock oolongs have. Really, some nice floral notes, too. Alright. We'll just do a quick 4-player East. Like I said, there's 3-player. It runs different rules. The rules are pretty simple. You can actually hit the little exclamation point. It'll show you the rule difference, so I can click that afterwards. But it cuts out the man tiles except for the terminals, and then the north wind is only used as a free Dora piece. Oh, the new skin. Oh, wait, I'm dealer, so we cut that. Easy cut. Look at that skin. Oh, they're on the up and up. I gotta lock in. I'm not a huge fan of these west winds in my hand, but... yeah. Oh, look on the left side, by the way. Oh, so we have a 2, 3, 4. We cut that? Or do I cut the 8 and use the 4 as a shape? But look at on the left as he plays something. He's Wanjiro, so you'll actually see a dog paw come out. Because they actually model each character's hand. Watch this. See? The one white dragon's down, we're getting rid of it. Yeah, they actually, like, each person has a slightly unique hand. They're very, very similar, but... we're gonna pass. It's gonna feel bad, but... yeah, furry girl has a furry hand. Those are the, like, really, really noticeable ones. You utter food. How dare I utter food? 4 and 9 again. This hand's not really coming together. I think I'm probably going to end up getting rid of these west. I want to open. I might end up having to just fold this hand. Okay, we can work with that. That's much better. We'll get rid of the west. We're gonna get rid of these west. If I draw into the 2, and I draw into the 1 pin, there's what? 2 of them are down. Which makes them look appealing. If I can finish... yeah, so we can... look to do a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 is what I'm hoping to get. That's like my ideal draw. Okay. So this is good. So now we can pawn a green dragon. I just need a couple of things. So this is complete. Oh, you love to see it. I think this. So we'll... okay, we're gonna get rid of this piece. I would love to be able to call a Riichi. Okay, so... he hasn't discarded any bamboos. I think I just get rid of the 3 here and hope it's a safe. It's inside Suji. Okay. I think I call this. We get rid of this and we're on a 1-4. If this gets Rond, it gets Rond. Yeah, I'm at the point where I'm 1 tie. Like, that puts me into 10 pi. And it's on a tile that we know is safe from him. So, like, there's a chance that somebody drops this 1 because it's a safe tile. And then I win. If you see me, this, yeah, see. And then, like, that's a Suji piece, so that one looks safe, so I win. So I get nothing. It's a green dragon, nothing. But I get to retain dealer seats. So when you win as dealer, if the game doesn't end, you retain your dealer seat and it goes into a repeat round. So this is now ×1 at the top. I don't want to get a red dragon that early. I want to get rid of this. Like, tossing a red dragon like that first discard just feels so bad. Oh, now we'll get rid of it. That's so funny. Yeah. That's okay. We drew the 4. I mean, it'd been nice to have, like, the 2, 2, 4, 6. We would drop the 8 here, but minor difference. It's not, like, a huge tragedy to our hand. We're not going to call that. Okay, that gives us the 5. So, yeah, we're going to drop the 8 here. We have the 6, 7, 8. We also have the 5, 6. We can do a couple of things. Green dragon looks good. Probably foolish. We get rid of that. One of the ones is already down, and I didn't pawn it, so yeah, there goes the last one. I wasn't too worried about it. Okay, now we get rid of the green dragon. No, I'm not going for anything in particular. I'm just kind of letting the tiles fall. I'm probably going to end up building a Pinfu, it looks like. So 6, 7. So we can drop the 4 here because a 4, 6 is waiting on a 5. A 6, 7 is waiting on a 5 or an 8. So it's a direct improvement to our hand. Yeah, ideally I find a 4, a 7. Don't worry about that. A 4 pin, a 7 pin. We drop that. We drop that. We're in Pinfu on the 3. A 3-man would be really nice. We could drop one of these. We'll probably drop the 8 because it looks safer. There's a few ways this hand can go. I may end up regretting this. It's okay if somebody... So with it waiting that long, it means likely somebody has a pair in their hand, which makes me feel a lot better about getting rid of it now. See, that 7 is a piece we wanted. North useless. You can pawn it if you want. The 4 pin is our best draw because it's the Dora, but 7 pin works. I will not be angry about either. Okay, a second 3. That complicates things. So we're going to get rid of that now. That complicates things a bit. We're not going to be able to go Cheetoy, but we could go all simples with this hand now and just open. If a 2 drops or a 3 drops. We don't care about that 8. We've seen those 8s come and go. It's a lot to worry about. So now we're getting to the point where I should be assuming that a lot of these people are getting near Tenpai. Yeah, like he just took that out of his hand. Okay, so now we're back in the position we were. And this is objectively a risky drop, but we'll drop it. Okay, and it's safe, which means we can drop it again next turn. While it's still more than likely safe. Yeah, around this point in the game, I would call this like entering the end game, which means people will probably have completed hands like that. This is theoretically still safe. 2 of these have been dropped. He's dropped 2 of the 8s. I don't want to fold this hand. Oh. That's why I got rid of that white dragon earlier. Yeah, there's a lot to be gathered based on somebody's discards. So here, easy one, I'm discarding this West Wind. The half-flush demons are talking to me right now. Oh, the half-flush demons are screaming in my ear right now. All I hear is half flush. Okay, now I don't. Now I just hear finish this hand. It's almost completed. Get a pair of any of your dragons. Ignore that. God bless. Get rid of green.
Boom.
Yeah, so that would be a half flush. It can be smart. Ooh, okay, that one's already killed. White dragon's looking bad. Yeah, so what may have been potentially half flush looking in the beginning is looking like it's not going to be anything in the end. And that happens. We're never going to take in a tile that doesn't do anything for us with a hand this close to done, but we know the greens are dead. So soon I'll probably drop this right. Yeah, I was going to say we should be looking to drop dragons we're not using soon because somebody could be waiting with that as their like finisher very, very soon. That's a little more complex, so don't worry about that. We'll do one more turn. With one down. I didn't see any delay, but somebody could always draw into it. That's the other thing. Not a lot of bamboo discards. Surprise! I'm the only one that's discarded a bamboo. That's the... okay. Drop that now. These should be safe. But you know, there's no guarantee that 8 bamboo was safe. That was actually genuinely potentially risky. Like this, there's no guarantee this is safe, but it should still be, so I'm going to. Okay, no, I have this. This is guaranteed. At this point, I don't have enough going in my hand that I'm probably going to fold this out. Okay, yeah. There's only 3 Han, not the end of the world, but that puts me very, very solidly in second place. And he lost his dealer round. This is good. These are good wins, but we're gonna get rid of the... yeah, 2 of them are down. We might get a draw if he discards West. He decided not to. That is always a potential risk nobody talks about. If you're dealer and you start with a wind as your discard, there's a potential that people just also follow suit and force a draw. The odds are low, but it's there. Okay. I think I'm good with this discard. It builds me a 2-3-4 or a 3-4-5, and then 6-7 can still build off of a 5 or an 8. Go to the green dragon here. So as we get rid of like these tiles, we're like, I'm not going to be building towards this. One's already down. I'm not worried. We kind of just let our hand build into whatever it wants, and then we take like another look at it once we're at like this stage. Where I go, okay. So I got a 2-2, I got a 7-7. A 9 is good here, because it could be a 7-8-9. We will get rid of this last honor tile.
Boom.
Good call. So we've got a lot of nothing here. So this is a hand for sure. If somebody calls Riichi, or if I think somebody has like a dangerous hand, I'm just folding. This is a hand that like at my level, like I know it's just not worth playing this hand out. Like he's starting to get close. He's looking like half flush with a 1-2-3. He did discard the Dora though, so he's not half flush. I don't know what he's doing. Maybe just red dragon nothing. Yeah, definitely. He's discarding too many man tiles. So I'm going to look to play a little safe here. When possible, I'll follow one Jiro to my left. I'm going to follow his discards when I can. Otherwise, I'll look at things that are like safe options for the guy across from me. But I'm going to be looking at him and him. He's just discarding honors, so I'm not too worried. See, like, I can follow suit with another two. The guy on my right, I don't think he has anything, because all he's done is discard honor tiles and terminal tiles. We already see one of the Dora. I think I just continue, like, slowly dropping tiles that are safe. Like, this 2 was safe. It'll likely still remain safe. And now I see a 4 we know is safer because he just called it. But so all the 3s are gone, which means the 2 outside of pair or triplet is unusable. So that's the thing we're keeping in mind. Some of this kind of stuff can get really, like, it's a lot of information. We know all of those are safe. I probably should have got rid of the 7 because it was safe then, and I know the north is safe at any point. Because these are not Riichi, so they can adjust their hands. So now we know 2 is safe. And 2 is... They with all the 3s gone, the 2 is forever safe. Yeah, this is probably like the most boring hand you'll ever see, but this is like pure defensive. I just had nothing going on, so... Just slow folding was the better call for me. So this was recently safe, so I'll probably go with this one. 1, 3 of the 8s, 2 of the 7s. Okay, so we know West is safe. 3 of the 9s are out. So 9's good. I'll read that in 1 second. Okay. No. Okay. So when other players keep dropping the same tile, it's generally safe. Safe because you don't want to give them an advantage. Safe because it doesn't play into their hand. I would rather... So I'm going to fold... I'm going to pay out a penalty, 1,500. If I played into them with their hands, they had, like, tiles and stuff, I'd have been way worse off. So if it's something they've dropped, it's Furitan for them, remember? So they can't win off of that tile. So Furitan rules are something that you use when looking at other people's tiles to know what you can safely deposit. Wow, this is a hand of all time. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but we are like 2 good draws away from just ripping it. Ooh. Oh, this hand is so close to being great. Show me a white dragon. Or show me a 3-man. True to that. Show me a 3... No, not a 3-man. A 3 bamboo. That's what I want. Show me a 3 bamboo. I drop this. And then show me a 7 bamboo or a 2-man. This is like a really, really deadly hand. Okay, we'll just drop this now. I have 2 Dora. Do I fold here? I don't think so. I have 2 of the Dora and I have a red 5. I don't think he can have a hand that's worth that much. I don't think I worry about him. I think he's kind of bluffing with this Riichi. I don't think it's a valuable Riichi. Oh, we know it's not a valuable Riichi. This hand is insane. 2 red 5s, 3 Dora. I can't open it, though. That's the worst part. Because it doesn't have a Yaku if I open it. 1, 2... Nope. Oh my goodness. I don't have a Yaku if I open this hand. I'm in such a, like a rock and a hard place right here. But all I need to do is draw into a 3 pin, a 6 pin, the last 3 bamboo, or a 6 bamboo. And we can just rip this. This hand with a Riichi is a minimum Hanemon. Mahjong class is in session. I'm playing a game now. I did my class a little earlier. Oh man, come on. There's 4 or 2. Oh, there we go. That's what we wanted. We rip this. The 3. Oh, you're kidding me. I paid 1,000 points to watch this guy win. And he won. Oh my goodness. I had an absolutely nasty Hanemon minimum, maybe a Baimon. That is a tragedy. Maybe I should have stayed Damaten to keep people playing safe to begin with. Damn. All good, Planky. I can re-go over it. You have to run? Alright. Keep that. Get rid of this. Probably drop that next. Yeah, I'm just doing like a normal game. Yeah, that's a good drop. Oh no, you stayed for the tutorial. This was just an extra game. Just to like put things in motion. So, okay, so when you play your first game, if you go to your logs, on the main menu, there's a button at the bottom that says logs. You can go there and there's a share button. You can just send me the link and then I'll go over it. And I'll just send you screenshots like, hey, Hyoshi, in your head, what were you thinking when you did this? And I'll be like, okay, so this is why you were wrong. I actually think it'd be really fun to do like a game, like a Mahjong game review on stream. To like review viewers' games and like teach them. Yeah, I think we'll rip this. And we'll rip this next. Do we all simples this? I think we do. I think we just Tanya. I think we're just Tanya gaming. See you, Yoshi. I think we drop this. Chi 3, 4, 5. Drop this. A 5, 6, 7. Or a 4, 5, 6. We take a 6, 6 pawn. Yeah, I'm just looking for an all simples at this point, and it's very obvious. We found our second red dragon. That sucks. You hate to see it. As always, what happens with that kind of thing. So we rip that. We know that this is almost certainly safe. There's like no ones, a couple of twos. Most of the threes are gone. We've seen two of the we see the other fours. Like if someone's waiting on this, they're crazy. So this should be a fine drop next. Maybe I should have kept it. That might have been foolish. A 2. I just opened up on a potential for a 2. There's a couple 2s left. We'll just get rid of it. It's fine. Things happen. We don't worry about that. Can't stress decisions you've already made. You know how it is. So we take this. We take 5, 6, 7. Oh, someone's pawning or ronning. Pawn. So now that we know the 7s are dead, we're definitely dropping this 8. There's nothing we can link with it. And we see like 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 9s are already gone. Yeah.
Boom.
And now we drew the 2. Son of a bitch. After all that, we get the 4, the 3. I give up on the 4, I draw the 3, and then I get the 2. That sucks. Here's the 2. We know the red's a safe drop, unless somebody's waiting on the pair. I mean, technically not guaranteed, but very, very unlikely. The 1 is almost certainly safe with 3 of them down. But some people just like do some deadly waits where they hell wait on a single tile that could be in the dead wall. Oh, there goes a 4. That sucks. 1, 2, 2 of the 4s are gone. The west tile is an always safe drop, so we're going to hold that one for later. We'll get rid of it now. And the person across from us has the Mandate of Heaven on their side and has been able to avoid the clause of anybody else winning while they're in dealer seat. We're going to repeat 3. Very impressive. A lot of wins dropped. We can keep that. It's our weakest shape here. We have the 9. We have a 5, 6, 7 with a 4, 4. 3, 4, a 5, 7, but that's the Dora is worth just as... Oh my goodness. Okay. Anyone want to... Okay, we don't need this. Anyone want to drop a dragon? Or maybe I draw into a dragon. That would be wonderful. Yeah, once this game ends, I will go back over the basics of Mahjong for you, Planky. Okay, with a green dragon down, we're going to get rid of ours, unless we draw into it here. Yeah, it took... Ooh. That's not a bad one to have. I think I dropped the other dragon here. I think that's objectively better. It opens up more plays. And we'll just get rid of the white dragon. Oh, and we drew into one of the plays that opened up. That's so nice. Get rid of the white. So now we have 6, 7, 8, and then we have 3, 4, 5. We don't even care. We're going to drop R4 here. And we know it's like mostly safe. Actually, we can take that. We'll just open up our all simples. I'm not going for anything crazy here. A 5 or a 2 in the pin suit. I will chi. And if he Rons that, I deserve it. Okay. And he has Ron. Or not Ron, Sumo. That's crazy. 8 man? Okay. So I need a pretty good hand here. I need at least 3 Han. Okay, we have at least 3 Han. Funny enough. So I can just rip open on white and west and just look to play towards the Doras as my pair. And that's literally a that's a win condition for me. We want to try to complete what we can, but we're not too stressed. Right now, I am absolutely looking like I'm going flush in one of the suits, either bamboo or man suit. So we take that. Man suit looks safer now. Round me. I'm very much giving half flush away. So we'll give that up. Yeah, now I'm for sure looking like I'm bamboo half flush based on my discards, which, you know, fair. Ideally, I want to draw into a 3 bamboo here, so I can drop this. And then I can drop the 7 with the white dragon pawn. The worst case is that somebody's waiting with a pair of white dragons in their hand that they don't want to get rid of. Because they also have a pair. And then I end up in an exhaustive draw and I earn nothing. Okay. This works out in my favor in an odd way. A 3 bamboo puts me into a double pair weight on the 5s and the and the white dragon, which is really interesting. And that's what I was worried about finding, but it is just better. Because a 4 here puts me into the same weight, whereas a 5 or a white don't round that? Okay. A 5 or a white puts me in a weird weight, but it's okay. Maybe keeping that and dropping this, because then a 5, 6... No, because that doesn't help. Trying to think what my best plays are here. Another 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we're not going to worry about that. I do want to get rid of this too soon if I'm going to get rid of it, though. And I'm going to get rid of it, so I need to get rid of it soon. There's been nothing played around it, so it's just a little concerning to have. Is that Ron? Okay. I feel safer having this in my hand. Oh, that 4 I really wanted. Actually, yeah, we'll rip an open con. I need the points. There's a potential for points to be had there. So 5/5 white. 1, none, none. A Mongon hit puts me lower than... No, a Mongon hit, I still am fine.
No.
Oh, and he got hit. Okay, so I take my 3rd place. It happens. And they just wanted their 2nd place. Okay. It happens. I don't think I played that particularly bad. There were a couple instances I could have played better. I think Mako will probably give that about a B-. Maybe C+. Oh, I got a B+. I played way better than I thought. Wow. That's kind of crazy. So I'm just going to do a quick look through with Maka and see where were my bad decisions. So that's not even a bad decision. The reason being is like the 9's not doing much for me, and I'm running a risk of a draw dropping that. Okay, and then here I should have dropped the green, but that's a little greedy. That's fair. I knew dropping west here was the worst decision, but I wanted to get rid of him. I didn't like him in my hand. And then here, I should have dropped a 2. Why drop the 2-3 shape? Should I have been folding? Oh, yeah, he called Riichi. I should have been folding here. Did I end up winning this one? I did. Awesome. Maka hated that. Love that. Love that. Love that. And then we got a Ron. Awesome. That's really nice. And that's why sometimes, you know, you don't play according to the mathematical decisions. This one, yeah. I thought it was kind of greedy to go for it, but I didn't really have like a good Yaku shape. It says get rid of the 2. So it wants me to start dropping the 2 and the 1 there. That's fair. I should drop the 2. Oh, I don't know why. Is it 2 safer? Okay, 2 safer, that's why. Okay. Drop the 9, fair. This was my worst hand. Yeah, this hand I played so badly. I was greeting so much with these dragons, and I should have just been getting rid of them in the beginning. Got rid of that. And then I should have got rid of it here, but I let the half-flush demons talk to me. This hand I played like an S-. Did I win this one? East 3, repeat 0? Oh, we exhaustive draw. Wow. I played this hand phenomenally. We knew it was safe, but we knew 2 was safer. We knew North was safe. We knew 9 was mostly safe. Only person on right could have potentially been playing towards it. Yeah. Phenomenal fold by me. A+ hand. What did I do? Did I win this one? No, this guy just kept getting so lucky. Oh, he played S+. Never mind. He's skilled. Pure skill. Yep. I'm gonna just zoom through these real quick. I'm just curious what I could have done better. I want to see that last hand that I played. East 4. I'm not really interested in that one. Okay. I played this one horribly. Did it hate the pawn? No, it liked the pawn. Get rid of the 2. See, I was saying the 1-2 shape is completed. Okay. Then with the 7, we get rid of the 3. 3 versus 7. I see. Okay. It's telling me I should drop the Dora? But I need at least 4K. A direct hit would be okay at 2K, but I need at least 4K. I don't know. I don't agree with that. Because otherwise this is a... Oh, it's telling me to go into a half flush. I gained the 2 door. That's why it's such a close call. A half flush open is worth 2 Han. So I could have started turning this into a half flush hand. And then that would have given... Okay, I see. Understood. It says I should have pawned. Oh my god, I didn't even notice. If I had pawned that, it would have left me the 5, 6, 7. I discard the Northwind and I'm in a wait. I'm in my double pair wait. Oh, I just thought about conning it for extra Dora. Oh, I played the rest of the round perfectly, but it didn't matter. That's such a huge mistake. Ooh. You hate to see it. Alright. So Planky. If you play Mahjong Soul is what I play on. It's a really good method. It's very pure to Riichi Mahjong. It has a tutorial. It'll make you go over in the beginning, but we'll go over it here. It's a very good tutorial. This is a Riichi Mahjong Class 1. One moment. I'm gonna pour some tea. I lied. I accidentally turned my kettle off, so my water's cold. Alright. We'll pour in a moment. So Planky, are you here? I think you said something about hands are covered in dough, you won't be able to reply. Okay. I wish there was a way for you to signal that you were alive. This sucks. I hope the dough's going well, though. Right, is it covered in, like, dough like baking or dough like money? You know what I mean? Like, you making money? Hey, Debunked, I'm rerunning the basic tutorial for Planky. But welcome back. Good to have you back. I did a game. I got 3rd place. The guy across from me, when he got his dealer seat, just had a literal mandate of heaven. Let me show you. Let me show you what you missed real quick. Which, by the way, B+. I did really well, but he got the mandate, got an A. You should teach 3-man sometime. Yeah, I mean, I can. I'm not the biggest 3-man fan. I think it was this one. Wait, so if it's this one, then I want to go... I'm going to go to this one and go back. No, it wasn't that one. Is it this one? And go back. Look at this hand. Do you see the weight I'm on? It is disgusting. I mean, this is revolting. Let's do a quick check. So, 1, I have 2 concealed triplets. I have the pair concealed. I'm waiting on a double weight. How many? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For 5. Plus Riichi 6. So because we're at 6, yeah. So it's a Hanemon minimum. Maybe Baimon. Maybe Baimon. Technically, if I get the Ipatsu Sumo, it would have been a Baimon. This is really like, so this is literally, I called Riichi here. Look at this. Look at this fucking guy. He's waiting on a 5-8. He's waiting on an 8-5. I played this round so well. And this guy just... He just sumos. This guy just sumos. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And at this point, I think none of the 6 bamboos have been dropped. And I think, what is it, 2 of the 3s? And that was the thing, right? Okay, so 3 of the 3s are dropped. But it looks like a super safe tile. So the 3-weight was like kind of fake, but the 6 bamboo. There was only 1 that I had seen, I think, when I did this. Yeah, but now I know there was 1 more in his hand, and then 1 right here. So there's only actually 1 in existence, but fuck. You know what I mean? That guy got so lucky. But yeah, let me re-go through the tutorial. So Planky, assuming you're able to listen and watch, we're gonna do the quick crash course. So I was planning on ending stream, but I'll do a quick crash course. If you have any further questions, I'm always available. So these are our tiles, very basic. You have 3 suits: your man, pin, and sew, characters, circles, sticks, bamboo, wheels, numbers, like whatever you want to call them. You have 3 different suits, you know what I mean? We're not here to be specific. And then you have your wind tiles and your dragon tiles that are considered separate. They're also called honor tiles combined. Matters a little bit. Very basic is you will have 13 tiles in your starting hand, To win, you will need generally 4 sequences or triplets and a pair, and you need a Yaku. There's 42 Yakus. We're going to focus on 3 of them. Which of the 3, technically, I think it covers 5 being 3. Because, we'll get into that in a second. But yeah, so a sequence is consecutive tiles of the same suit. A triplet is 3 identical tiles of the same suit. And then a pair is 2 identical tiles. So we'll move. So a Yaku, like I said, we're going to learn 3 types, which is all simples, Riichi, and Yakuhai, which Yakuhai technically covers like 5 of them in one. It's very easy to explain. So all simples is a hand that does not have a terminal or an honor in it. This is going to be your bread and butter as you're learning the game. If you just always aim for all simples, if you don't have an obvious Yakuhai, you can't go wrong. So your 1s and your 9s, the ends of each suit, 1 and 9, are terminals. And then your honor tiles are the wind and dragon tiles. So it can be a mix of anything in between, the 2s through the 8s, triplets, sequences, and a pair at the end. Very simple. So Tenpai is when you're 1 tile away from winning. It is that is when you're waiting to win. You can call Riichi if your hand is closed, which means you have not opened it. And I know you're thinking, what does opening your hand mean, Tosado? Well, opening your hand is done when you can call a chi, a pawn, or in certain circumstances, a con will be open. A chi is a call to complete a sequence which can only be done from the discard on the person to your left. A pawn is completing a triplet. It can be done from anybody. And then a con will be 4 tiles. It is regarded as a triplet as far as your hand completion goes. Because you pull an extra tile off the dead wall to replace the tile that is being conned. But, so there's a Kakon or, like, close con, right? But, rather, so there's open con, which is if you have a triplet in your hand and somebody discards the 4th tile, you can call an open con. If you already have a triplet pawned and you draw into the 4th tile for it, you can do a kakon, which is just adding to it to make it a con. And then there's a close con, which is keeping them closed, and it's coming from all 4 tiles being in your hand. Cons are not something to worry about too much. You could really just ignore them as you're starting. They're very niche, but they do exist. They do pull an extra tile from the Dora wall. There's a lot of importance and nuance with them, but I don't think it's something a new player should focus on, but it is something to be aware of. So to call a Riichi, this person at the bottom here has a 1, 2, 3, a 4, 4, 4, a 5, 6, 7, 3 east winds, and a south wind. So they're waiting on 1 tile. Because their hand is closed, they can call a Riichi, and a Riichi will always be a Yaku. Hello, Baibon. How are you? Yeah, you can call me Mr. Crow, Crowsado, Tosado. I go by many names. How are you? Hope you're doing well today. I'm halfway through my 2nd tutorial of the stream for Riichi Mahjong. Furiten is a state to worry about. You do need to be aware of your discards. There will always be the VOD by Bon, and I do stream. I try to stream every weekend. Hopefully you have a good day at work, though. I try to stream every weekend. Usually I also... like, if there is holidays, I generally have those off, so I try to stream on those too when I can. No guarantee, but I do try to stream. I often don't know when I'll be streaming, though, so I don't tend to have, like, a schedule. But I try my best out here, you know what I mean? like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I do hang out in the Kauzia Discord. That's where you'll find me most of the time. She's a wonderful streamer and illustrator and VTuber. And she posts shorts once in a while. I can just put the link out. Yeah, give me one moment. I always forget to pin it in my chat. One moment as I'm looking for this. Oh, you know what? I know where I have it. I was like, I have it saved somewhere. There it is. Let me go put this in chat. Oop, I accidentally opened my stream. Oh, no, you're okay. There's no reason to worry about derailing class. So this is the chat. This is the server I usually hang out in. Let me pin that. That's Kauzia's the Donatachis. Also, Lisa. Yeah, love Lisa. It is not a, to note, it is not a Mahjong, what was I saying? It's not a Mahjong Discord or anything by any means. Like I said, she's an illustrator and VTuber. I just tend to hang out there most of the time, so. I mean, everyone's welcome. Everyone's welcome. And like I said, she's an illustrator, so there's a lot of art. A lot of artists and art stuff in there. Always welcome. What rank are you? Bybon. As much as I know of the game, my rank does not show how much I know. You know, over 1,000 games, maybe it will, but... I rank into Adept 2? Look, I'm about to rank into Adept 3. Look at us go. Love Lisa. And then, Debunked plays. Debunked user. He's usually in my chat hiding. He is embarrassing. He's still Novice 3. Can you believe it? He plays mostly 3-man nowadays. Because he just prefers the speed of it. But he got hard stuck Novice and almost rage quit Mahjong. You know how it goes. And I don't need... Planky's the one that I'm here doing the tutorial for. I don't even know if he's still here, to be honest. No, honestly, 3-man is nice when you feel stuck. It's basically... So it's the same... you know what? Perfect chance. We're detour from the tutorial. We're going to show the rules of 3-man real quick. It's literally... They just get rid of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8-man. They get rid of Chi, and Northwind is just something you can call as a Kita tile, and it's just a free Dora. Yeah. It's super simplified and super quick. Oh, hi, Planky. Yeah, I would consider it significantly more luck-based, though, because it's just, like... You're just like raw, just running like, let me see. So for example, yeah, 3-man after 4-man. Oh, who left a message? Oh, hey, debunked it. Oh, look at this Novice 3. Yikes. Yeah, like, so I've gotten like, I don't know, 10 counted Yakumons in 3-man. And then I think, yeah, San Baimon full flush was the best I've ever gotten in 4-man. 3-man's a great, it is a great, like, step away from it, though. I'm so close to getting Adept 3, though. It's really bothering me. What rank are you, Turban X? Just out of curiosity. I always like to know. 'Cause I'm always willing to learn more. Learning more is the goal. All these achievements. Oh, hey. Oh, hey, you can look at your new achievements through this. What'd I do for this one? Oh, 100 games of sumo. Expert 1. Oh, yeah, so you can teach us a lot, huh? If there's anything that I've said that you disagree with, feel free to tune in and correct me, please. The basic tutorial, I feel like, is the hardest part of, like, teaching somebody how to get in. But that's why I always say, like, when you're first learning and you're doing, like, novice, I always tell them to just completely ignore defense. Learning defense is, like, it's such a difficult thing. Like, once you know, like, Suji traps, all that kind of stuff, it's... Whew. Well, rank are you in 3-man as well? Because funny enough, I think I played like a little bit of 3-man and I just like bumped my rank. Yeah, I'm adept to in both of them. I climb my 3-man up so quickly. Because it's just so easy. But it is also like a 3rd place finish. A 3rd place finish in 3-man is the equivalent of last place, so you just get absolutely blasted for it. Yeah, it's way harder to fold as well, just because there's... I mean, it's harder but easier. There's no cheese. But, like, you can still wait on a sequence. But... Anyway, where was I in the second tutorial? I forgot. Planky said E, so I know Planky's still here. This is Furryton rules. It's probably one of the harder parts to teach. It's one of those things that you kind of have to experience it a few times, I think, to really, like, understand. But discard Furryton's generally the main one to worry about. And discard Furryton Planky is if you've discarded a tile and it is any of your potential winning tiles, even if it's not the one you're looking for, if it's any of your potential winning tiles, you are in Furryton state, which means you cannot win by somebody else's discard. You can still win by drawing, which is sumo, but you will not be able to call a win off of somebody's discard. So, it's something to always watch for with your discards. Like I said, and you can, you know, change your tenpai to avoid it if you can, but there are circumstances where Furryton's not the end of the world, so do look for those. And look, if you go into Furryton, look at this, you'll make Ichihime cry. Look at that. Do you want to make Ichihime cry? Why would you do that? Don't make Ichihime cry. There's temporary Furryton, which is if you intentionally pass on somebody's, on a winning tile, so like a Ron chance. That is such a few and far between situation. It's so niche. There's like, it's like a 1 in 1,000 game thing where passing on a Ron is the right call. You know what I mean? I would generally not worry about it. Generally speaking, and you know, 99 out of 100 games, 999 out of 1,000 games, you're just gonna call Ron whenever you see it. Riichi Furryton is if you're in Furryton and you call Riichi, you can't remove it because you can't change your hand with Furryton. That's probably the worst one, just because it's like you're stuck with it until you die. So do watch out for that. If you're going to call Riichi, try not to be in Furryton. Like there was that Yakuhai, very simple, and this will be the end of the basic tutorial. Yakuhai is a triplet of the prevalent wind, which is the round wind you play, or seat wind, which is the seat that you're in. So say it's east wind round 3 and you're currently in west wind, like you're the west seat, then your west wind would be your seat wind and east wind would be your prevalent wind. And then a triplet of any of the dragon tiles, the white dragon, green dragon, or red dragon will count as a Yaku as well. Those are very easy to go for. I think pretty self-explanatory. That's the quick crash course there. Points calculation is the really hard part, but luckily the game does it for us, so we don't need to worry about that. But if you ever are curious, it can matter for knowing which hands to fold, which hands to not fold, but we don't worry about that right now. You're just getting into the game. Don't overwhelm yourself. I recommend going for Yakuhai's. That's the end of the tutorial, by the way. You can always reference this same visual guide in the game. I recommend focusing on a lot of all simples, maybe Riichi when you can, and then Yakuhai's. Strong starts. And that is my recommendation. I was ending stream here, by the way. Bybon, I know you just joined. But thanks to everybody who tuned in for watching. I appreciate you all. I do tend to stream Mahjong related content fairly often. I do enjoy Mahjong. I've recently been playing out Tenjo, and I think I might be streaming that tomorrow, to be honest. It's a Balatro style Mahjong game. Really fun if you liked Balatro at all. You can get some absolutely insane runs going on it. Still early access, so they're still adding stuff, and there's like made up patterns and all that. It's really, really fun. Anyhow, I will be ending stream here. Thank you all for tuning in. And yeah, have fun back at work. Bye, Bon. Bye-bye.